2015. Now, I actually don't think I said much in this video, but I want to showcase the chart, right? And what was happening back in this time period. It's not often that we get to refer back to this. This stream is like, look how bad my camera was during this time period. It was so crazy. Like, I've improved so much in the past 4 to 5 years. The glow up is crazy. I know, dude. What was I doing? Oh my gosh. Not great. But the technical analysis was still 100% intact, and that's all that matters. Trading the financial sector is sadly not popular on Twitch. I am checking often if some people like you are streaming. Yeah, I know it's not that popular. I feel like, you know, it doesn't get enough love, right? But I stream quite regularly. I have been for years. And again, every time I stream, I try to make like highlights out of the content and post it on YouTube. So again, I'd really appreciate you being in the community. You could join the Discord. It's completely free, always will be free. I have a blog. It's a great resource you can use to learn more in-depth information about the products we cover here on the channel. Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. And if you're curious about the financial sector, just like we covered consumer staples today, we've covered the XLF. We've also covered the regional financial sector, and we've covered things like Bank of America. We've covered a bunch of different symbols like Citi, BlackRock. So again, check out the YouTube channel. We've covered the sectoral ETFs for finance. We've covered the subsector of regional banks, and we've covered a plethora of the components that make the financial sector. Out of curiosity, what is your current sources of income? I do a lot of investing, right? Not necessarily trading. I don't even like really calling it that, because it's not that. It's not that. We invest here. Trades are come and go within a day. They're over with. They weren't that important. But investing, we do like long-term investments, and you're going to see that here in this. I also own my own like firm, private equity. I'm able to manage funds for clients. So if you were interested, you know how like the S&P is a fund of equities that's publicly traded, right? So when you're looking at private equity, it's a fund of equity that's privately traded directly to investors, from me to you. If you were to work with me, for example, we'd open a bank account, you'd deposit funds, then we can allocate you into a sleeve or portfolio, right? And we tend to outperform the market quite significantly, and that's kind of what I do, right? So again, we always focus on like long-term investments, like greater market cycles. We're not worried about the intraday fluctuations, the weird headlines that CNBC would be posting, but these long-term, very valuable companies with great profit margins, great dividends. Yeah, I could tell you a lot about it. I mean, like whether you're opening like a business account, like a lot of you probably have brokerage accounts open in your personal name. Mine is in my company's name. So when you buy a stock and they put your name on the list, oh, this person now has ownership, they're putting my company's name on there instead, right? Day trading is a fun hobby, but like the strategies that like a day trader would use, like if I want to be a fund manager one day, like a huge fund manager, like Warren Buffett or Kathy Woods, right? Aunt Kathy. Now, she's never going to be able to deploy the strategies that a day trader is deploying for client funds, right? So if you want to be a fund manager, someone who's moving billions of dollars, it's good to like potentially practice long-term strategies and things of that nature that are actually going to help you when you're building these sleeves, building these portfolios, managing clients, etc. I'm too young for investing legally in my country. I'm 14. I do Facebook Marketplace flipping. I'm also looking to become employed sometime in the future. That's awesome, man. I know that if you're 14, there's custodial accounts you can make with your parents' permission. They basically become the co-signer on the account. And that would be a great way for you to like get involved. I'm not sure if you trade at all right now, but maybe you could talk to your parent, tell them this is something you're interested in, and it would be an account opened in your name, but they're basically the cosign on it. And then you could just say, I want to put like $100 in here. it's kind of, we live in this like golden era of investing where any dollar amount can basically get you in the door for being an investor, because we have things like fractional shares that are now available. And I would highly recommend you starting with like funds, for example, instead of taking on that firm specific idiosyncratic risk of owning singular companies and stock picking, because stock picking is a very difficult skill for even the best of traders, right? Mutual funds and index funds, for example, like there's mathematical ways to calculate if a fund/fund manager has stock picking ability or market timing ability. If you've taken like an advanced investing class in college, they would teach you these things, but there's like a mathematical definitive way to choose if a fund over a given period of time displayed qualities of market timing or stock picking. And what this research has shown is that like mutual funds and index funds actually have like zero stock picking ability, zero. So their strategies that they deploy are very different. Even the best of hedge funds, for example, don't even have that great of stock picking ability. It's like less than 7% of hedge funds out of roughly 7,000 hedge funds that exist in the United States have this quality of market timing and or stock picking. What else are people saying? Of course, managing funds is different. Long-term strategies are different. Exactly. And if you want to be making the big money in the financial spaces, it's really a great course of action, right? To be leaning into these strategies. And honestly, you know, your time is your most valuable asset, you know? You don't want to be sitting in front of a computer all day, every day, trading a fraction of your total P&L on the highest risk positions as a trader, right? You want something you can invest your entire net worth in, right? Comfortably, and hold it for very long periods of time and seek these gains that, you know, maybe you wanted to sleep in that day. You can do that, right? Because you're not in this extremely leveraged position on an options contract that expires by the end of the week, right? So okay, so that was the first video for our time with Activision. And as you can see, it had a price point of $47.57 when we originally made this video back in April 2019. $47. We had a projection in place of $83.50, which would have been a total gain of 86% on Activision. Well, let's see what happened over that next year on Activision. Again, look at how crazy I looked in my camera back then was like a $7 camera I got off eBay from some no-name, no brand, knockoff garbage. So it's just kind of fun to reminisce on like where we started and where we are now, right?